matchup between the Totino-Grace Eagles and the Maple Grove Crimson. Welcome, everybody. I'm Alex Walker, joined tonight by Sig Ligry. And Sig, this is a matchup of what should be two pretty even teams at 4-1-3, the Eagles, at 4-3-0, the Crimson. Three teams tied atop the conference right now at 5-1 in first place, and right after them are both of these teams. The Crimson, the host team, a bit of a mishmash of players, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, they have a big change in their lineup. In fact, every match they have a different lineup. So they're experimenting with what player does what, where they fit in, and trying to gel as a team.
And for Coach Matt Thibodeau's Totino-Grace Eagles, as we see Coach Thibodeau right there, pretty much the complete opposite story.
Right, he's got almost a seasoned team. He's got three players that came in at the end of last year and are now starters for this year's team. But same thing, trying to get things together, trying to really get into the possession of the ball, get the midfielders to be able to look at the defense and figure out where they're going to go. So those things are still it's a learning in process. But he feels pretty comfortable with his team, and talk to Ben Levon, he's also just as comfortable with his team. A matter of getting the adjustments taken care of.
As you said, the 8th game of the year now. They haven't had the same lineup in back-to-back games, and they won't again tonight as far as starters. And Totino-Grace is going to start this one off. The Eagles first with the ball. They have it on the far sideline right now. Maple Grove gets it back. Both teams really like to play the possession game and not send the ball too far upfield and chase it. So that's what they're going to look for. Maple Grove tries to switch right away. Knocked down by an Eagles defender. And now it's collected by Danielle Brown for Totino-Grace. Sent ahead, challenge for the ball. Maple Grove will come away with it. Grace Schmid trying to play it outside. She loses it. And now the Crimson collect the ball and switch fields right away. Coach Levon saying earlier, team having a little trouble sometimes moving the ball up the field with their possession, but they're learning every game as Darian Cobb has it right now. Tries to sneak it ahead to a streaking Camille for straight, but it's taken now by the Eagles. Totino-Grace in their regular navy and gold, while the Crimson with the white jerseys and the maroon shorts. Crimson bringing the ball up the right side. Room to play up there for the Crimson midfielder. Tries to get around her defender. Tries to use some of that speed. Good defense that time by Mackenzie Schmidt. That ball knocked out of bounds, however, for our first corner kick of the game. Just a minute and a half in. 0-0 between Maple Grove and Totino-Grace. Take a look at Coach Matt Thibodeau, now in his 8th season with the Eagles. And like you said, pretty comfortable with this squad he has right now as the shot comes in, the corner kick comes in, drops at the feet of a Crimson player. Shot on, and that one goes just over the net. That shot by Emma Travis for Maple Grove is our first chance on goal in the game.
Good work off the corner that time. We keeping the ball into the Totino-Grace end. And we'll take a look at that shot one more time. It's right on the foot of number 20, and here's the shot, just a little bit underneath the ball, and it goes over the top of the net. It's still a good offensive set that time for the Crimson.
Dana Lettinen with the ball at her feet off that corner kick. One of two captains for Maple Grove, the other Jackie Ehlert out with an injury tonight. So another reason why Maple Grove's lineup shifts around even more. Interesting, we talked to Coach Levon just before the game, and he said his team not real big fans of using their heads on balls. So seeing that corner kick come in, I was kind of wondering what happened, and sure enough, it dropped right to Leightonen's foot.
Well, sometimes that'll work for you. You know, as they progress and grow as a team, they will obviously start using the headers to their advantage.
Now Leightonen trying to play the ball up. Crimson able to work it outside to the right. Ball sent ahead, no one there, so Totino will collect it, and Allison Parnell looks to send it back up. She does get it to Lexi Serene. Ball eventually goes out of bounds off a Crimson player, and we have a Totino-Grace throw-in. As we mentioned in the first game, Maple Grove and Totino-Grace's boys played to a 1-1 tie and a pretty exciting finish to that game, especially about a minute left. Maple Grove's goalie knocked the ball backwards off of the end line. Looked like it was going to go in after a terrific Totino flick, but that one ended with a 1-1 tie.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. The Maple Grove defense rose to the occasion.
Right now, Maple Grove's defense, a little miscommunication as the goalie, Kiara Heaton, not communicating very well with her defender, it appears. And boy, Totino-Grace's number 16, Danielle Brown, almost took advantage. Now here's a chance for Grace. Knocks it outside to Brown. Brown has to beat one defender, sends it ahead. Maple Grove trying to clear, can't quite get to it. Brown in on it again.
They're just not making good contact with the ball.
Crimson having some trouble controlling back in their end, but an errant pass out of bounds will give them the throw-in. Kind of a confusing play back there with the goalie and the defender.
Right, and you know better than anybody else, since you played the position, it's the responsibility of the keeper to tell the defense what they are supposed to do. Either let it go or clear it out or whatever it is. That's such a key factor for the keeper.
Coach Levon saying before the game, part of the trouble of putting together lineups with this team is that between the girls on this team, they play for 10 different club teams the rest of the year. So they're still kind of trying to figure out how to play with one another. And Heaton's just a sophomore, maybe doesn't quite have those responsibilities with her club team, and trying to figure out, like you said, still how to communicate with these defenders here and let them know what she expects and what they need to do.
Right. I call the keeper the quarterback of the defense.
Well, as we get a chance up ahead now, nice pass. And Darian Cobb with it, trying to get around a defender. Crimson keep the ball.
And now Maple Grove moves up a couple of players.
And they'll get a throw in. But getting back to that defense, the goalie is the only player who can see the entire field in front of her.
Exactly, and that's why the keeper has the responsibility of controlling the defense, telling the word to be, and they got to, like you said, they got to communicate. Who's coming, what's up there, and that's a learning process for the keeper and the defense. They have to learn to listen to what the keeper tells them.
Eagles now in transition. Maple Grove able to get the ball and turn it back upfield, controlled by Cobb. She's been pretty active already tonight, just 6 minutes into this game. Tries to send ahead, and a nice cut inside. Good pass back to Cobb. Cobb's going to have a chance. And I'm not sure if she tried to shoot her past that one, but nobody there for her.
No, it looked to me like it was a cross, but it was a cross to nowhere. Nobody else was on the far side.
Cobb with a good chance here right at net and didn't take advantage.
It's a nice play. Look at it, right by the defender. Comes over on the left side. And I don't know if she missed it or the other forward didn't get in the right position.
That was 14 Meredith Hawkinson who stepped in on that ball and made the pass to Cobb. First time we've called her name tonight, but you could be sure Coach Thibodeau for the Eagles knows all about her. In fact, before the game he told us he warned her players about her. He thinks she's the best player in this conference, and she's got the goals already this year to prove it, some of the assists, and is having a very good year. It's just a sophomore for Maple Grove.
Yeah, she's obviously one of the key players on the Crimson team. And like you said, Matt, Thibodeau said we'll definitely pay attention to her.
Ball gets by, and chasing after it is Danny Peterson. And she'll let that one roll out of bounds, and we'll have a goal kick for Totino. 0-0 still our score. No shots on goal yet. We've had one chance that went just over the crossbar early in the game.
Yeah, and that's been it. Looking over at our ace statistician, Willie Markham, doing our stats for us at this game as always.
As he always does, yes, absolutely. He's had a long night, Willie, here for a boys game and now the girls game too. And he works harder than you, so.
Well, of course he does.
Ball out of bounds off a Crimson defender, so we'll have a throw-in the offensive half of the field for the Eagles. Picked up and being thrown in by Peterson up from her defensive spot. Flick on by Brown. Now collected by Rosie McGinty. Sent ahead by Lexi Serene. And again, boy, just
miscues on the defense.
Miscues and misplayed balls by that defense back there. And I'm sure Coach Levon is hoping his defenders can right those things before a terrible mistake is caused.
Well, he looks more calm than I would be.
He's seen this once or twice before.
A couple times, yeah. There's a reason I don't coach anymore. Once was enough.
And that ball knocked out of bounds, so another throw in for Totino-Grace. At the feet and sent inside, and now a chance. Nice touch, and bringing it in, shot on goal, and a score for number 5, Nicole Nuchek. That number 9, Ariana Del Morel. Totino-Grace opens the scoring just 9 minutes into the game. The junior Del Morel with the goal on a nice play, and boy, we just talked about it, and those miscues by Maple Grove bites them.
Just a nice poke right there. Gets right back past the defender. Sees what the keeper's doing. Gets the angle. Watch this. This is heads up shooting right here. Past the defender. Past the keeper who had already made a commitment. And nicely done.
Nice low shot, and boy, keeper Heaton really didn't have a chance on that one.
No, you could see that as Del Morel got down there, she knew exactly where the keeper was. Here's
now a chance
Crimson.
inside for Maple Grove.
They need to get a comeback, get back in the game.
Brianna Johnson going at it alone. Ball comes back out to the right. Good defense that time by Mackenzie Schmidt to stop the run, and we're going to get the second corner kick of the game for Maple Grove. Crimson now down 1-0 after the Del Morel goal. That's Ariana Del Morel. She's got a sister, Paula Del Morel, a freshman, on the team as well. So the cross comes in now low, and stepping back to cover it is Del Morel, and we'll get a goal kick now for Totino-Grace. So for Totino, as Coach Thibodeau, even though he's got this team returning, he says they're kind of still learning the system. They're still kind of trying to gel a little bit, and looks like they certainly had that going from on that play against an inexperienced as of yet Maple Grove defense.
And he did point out that Ariana Del Morel was definitely one of the players to watch, and we could see why.
Maple Grove, lots of speed. Here's Hawkinson. Nice pass between two defenders inside. Good turn on the ball by Brianna Johnson. Johnson sends it out, trying to cut inside and losing it. Ball comes back to Hawkinson. Hawkinson trying to dribble through a few players. Good footwork by Hawkinson. Inside to Johnson, tries to turn. Well defended.
Can't get the shot off.
Passes back to Cobb. And that ball inside to no one, and Totino will try and clear it. Good ball handling that time between Johnson and Hawkinson. Not a lot of movement by the other Crimson offensive players, but they have their chance. Now the ball grabbed by Manon McMahon. Passes it outside. Looking for a player to make a run. She's got one outside. Tries to drop it inside to Hawkinson. A little too far for her. And the ball cleared out. Brown with it now for Totino. Some nice footwork to get around a defender. Sends it outside. Good pass back inside, and stepping to it is Dana Leitonen. And she gets it back ahead. Back and forth action in the midfield right now. Maple Grove with the ball. Sent across to Cobb. She settles, drops it back. Now to Cobb again. Tries to backheel it outside, but that one didn't get enough juice on it, and Totino steals it back. But now Lettinen with it. Lettinen being hounded. Gets it outside. This is Verstraete. Verstraete with some room to play. Johnson out to Cobb. Just a little too hard for her. And that ball will roll out of bounds for a goal kick. Just over 12 minutes gone here in the first half. Totino leads Maple Grove 1-0 after an Ariana Del Morel goal. Good look at Johnson right there, one of the star seniors for the Maple Grove Crimson.
Yeah, and the two players up on top, Ariana Johnson, who you just saw, and Meredith Hawkinson, we saw about a minute ago, the key players for the Crimson offense.
Trying to cut inside now. Johnson has it, loses it.
Yeah, tried to maneuver around the middle defender and didn't have a good handle on the ball.
Maple Grove seems to be a little a little confused once they get the ball inside, but they're doing a really good job of pressuring. Here's a shot by Johnson. Couldn't get a lot on it, and it's picked up by goalie Clarice Hill for the Eagles. But they're doing a really good job kind of filling the gaps when they're on defense in their offensive zone, not letting Totino-Grace get the ball out too easily. It's offering them the chance to play around with it a bit in the offensive zone, possess it a bit more.
Yeah, they've got pretty good possession down there, and they also have good position. Unfortunately, they're having trouble getting the ball into a key player so they can turn and get a shot. As soon as they get a ball in, there's a defender right there bothering her.
Part of that experience of this Totino team. Now Cobb loses it to Danny Peterson. Peterson gets it ahead to Nicole Newman. Newman, one of the players to watch for this Eagles team. Tries to cut it inside, waiting for her teammates to catch up. Good job holding up there so the rest of her teammates can catch up. Now here's a cross inside. Nobody on the far post. That'll roll out of bounds harmlessly for a goal kick. First goal kick of the day for Maple Grove. Grace, just the one shot on net. It did go in. Crimson, no shots on goal yet. But they've had a bit more offensive possession. Check that one shot on goal. That one just recently from Johnson.
Not much behind it, but it was on goal.
Got to count it. Maple Grove playing that flat back. Not a lot of communication. Still kind of figuring out how to play that flat four back there.
Right.
Seems like nobody's sure who to go forward, who to kind of drop back and support.
Yeah, just a little bit of a missed pass going in front of the other defender, and it results in a turnover.
So we have our first substitution now, as Newman looks like she's going to come off for Totino-Grace. Ball comes back in, and now we'll have a throw-in for Maple Grove. Crimson with it back in their own end. Throws that one, kicks that one out of bounds off a Totino player. And the throw-in, Serene stabs her foot out to get it. Maple Grove gets it back. Hawkinson will turn and try and take it upfield. Passes up to McMahon. McMahon turns the Jets on. Getting ahead, outside to the left. Using that speed to try and get around a defender and play the ball back in. They like to keep it low. That's what she does here, but stepping in and knocking it away is the Grace defender. Now Brown back to chase McMahon. Pass in, but a good rush to step to it by the Grace defender, and they clear it away. Maple Grove winning a lot of those balls, though, when they come back out to midfield, get it again. But now lost by Verstrade, and the Eagles return it back upfield. Brown with it. Tries to knock it ahead to Newman, and that one cleared up by the Crimson. Brown settles. Ball bounces away to Del Morel. She loses it and trips up Emma Travis chasing after it, so a quick kick. Ref's going to blow that one dead as that one was kicked a few yards in front of where the foul occurred.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be exact, but it has to be in the proximity.
Just didn't want to give too much of an advantage to them right away when they were kicking it from 5 yards ahead. You would have let it go if they would have kicked it from back where they were. This ball almost looked like it was misplayed, but chasing onto it anyways, Johnson. Trying to turn around a defender, but good defense that time by number 6, Amelia Vossen. And Vossen she's been solid back there, not biting on any of those fakes, any of those turns, as we have a couple Crimson subs here. She just played solid defense, keeping herself between the goal and the offensive player.
Well, that's what you want to do. You get yourself between the attacker and your keeper.
Good look at Abby Worthington coming on there, the junior midfielder for Maple Grove. Brown has been active on that left side.
That'll be a throw for the Eagles.
Throw comes in. Del Morel with it, our goal scorer tonight. Drops it back, and the Eagles clear it ahead. Coming down with it is Leighton. Sends it back to Limata. She'll send it outside, and Maple Grove back in the attack. Solid marking so far by Totino. Really aren't giving the Crimson too much room to play with, and now they draw a foul. So they will send, Totino will send the ball ahead here as we look at Allie Bird on now for the Crimson. Crimson do have a lot of players, a lot of subs they use, especially in the midfield, as they, as we said, still trying to shake out what this roster looks like. And a pass too hard out of the back from, I believe, Limata, and so we're going to get another throw-in now in the offensive zone for the Eagles.
And actually having multiple midfielders is a good thing, because that's what you want to do, is control the middle of the field. There's a collision, foul called against the Eagles.
Very aggressive play by Megan Zerbe that time, who's on as a sub for the Eagles. So we'll get a free kick taken by Heaton. Sent ahead, now collected by Worthington. Tries to send outside, stepping to it is a Totino-Grace defender. Sends it up outside, and she gets the ball back. Still trying to work it ahead, but Hawkinson steps back to take it away. Now Hawkinson cutting inside.
Nice interception by Hawkinson to watch the player, saw where the ball was going to be, and stepped in.
And then she loses it, so Totino-Grace back on the offense. Here comes Brown, hounded by a couple defenders, cuts inside, still with it. Now taps it a bit too far ahead, but Newman now giving chase to Shelby Hanberg. Hanberg has to knock it out of bounds, and good defense that time by Totino-Grace. Even though they were down 2 girls to 4, they were able to force the throw-in.
I think that time was a good idea to get the ball over the touchline to give them a chance to regroup.
Another sub now, Morgan Palmer, sophomore midfielder, coming on for the first time for Maple Grove. As the Crimson will have a throw-in in their own defensive end. And looks like we're going to have Allie Bird come off the field for Maple Grove. Another throw-in. Under halfway through this, or over halfway through, I should say, this first half, Totino-Grace on the road against Maple Grove, leading 1-0. As I mentioned, these teams neck and neck as far as the conference standings go. Anoka, Andover, and Robbinsdale Armstrong all tied at 5-1-0. Grace at 4-1-2 in the conference, and Maple Grove at 4-2-0, 1 game back. So whoever wins this game will at least be in second place, or check that, 4th place in the conference after tonight. Maybe higher depending on what happens around the rest of the conference.
Yeah, and you want to maintain your position in the conference, because you don't want to start losing too much ground early in the season.
Grace, the only Class A team in this conference, and that was something Coach Thibodeau said as it being their second year in the conference, they're starting to gain a little more confidence, feel like they can play with these teams, and by their record, they obviously can. But still, when you're the small school like that, it feels good to get a couple wins against some bigger schools, especially teams like Maple Grove, to prove to yourself you can do it, and that's kind of what they're trying to do tonight. Grace sends the ball up, headed away by Travis. Ball still bouncing. Good attempt that time to get after it by Abby Worthington, and she draws a foul, I believe, on Brown in order to get the free kick. About 35 yards out from the goal. Going in to take it is Jasmine Gates. I'm guessing this one will stay fairly low, considering they don't like to head the ball too much.
35 yards out, and it goes right to a defender.
Gates gets it back. Tries to stay with it. Does, but she'll get called for a foul. And Totino-Grace will have themselves a free kick. Gates doing a good job that time to draw the foul. But it's hard when you can't get a head on the ball to really send it too high into that crowd in front of the net. Throw in, and we're going to have a couple of subs, one for each team now. Collage coming back in for Maple Grove, and Jenna Meyer, check that. Jenna Meyer coming in now for Totino-Grace. Brown settles it off the throw-in. Drops it back for Serene. Grace trying to possess inside their offensive end. Can't. Maple Grove takes it, sends it back upfield. Knocked down by Meyer, the recent addition. This is Johnson playing pretty far back from her normal forward spot. And we're going to get a foul on Maple Grove, and so Totino will send the ball back up. Totino really hasn't had a lot of offensive opportunity in this game so far, even though they lead 1-0.
Well, Maple Grove's been doing a pretty good job in the midfield of taking the ball away, because that time Del Rey got spun around, and Del Morel, sorry.
And now offsides is going to be the call on Del Morel. That one, nice flick on. Del Morel maybe a half step in front of her defender. Kick from Collage. Sent ahead, knocked down by Allison Parnell.
Taken away by the Crimson.
They bring it back up. Now with it is McMahon. Her shot goes just wide of the post. So holding the ball and trying to flick it onto someone inside doesn't work. They try a shot from the outside, and that's Worthington there with a good chance.
And probably not a bad idea to take that shot. There was nobody else with her, and the defense was about to collapse on her, so might as well go for that shot.
And that's something I think Totino's kind of forcing them into, the way they've really been able to mark and track well down in their own defensive end. Got to get the ball in net somehow. They almost did that time. Now Travis cuts it inside to Cobb. Cobb looking inside for Johnson, I believe. That ball passed to a Totino-Grace player, but again, Maple Grove gets control. This is Hawkinson. Now sends it out. Ball comes all the way outside, trying to keep it in, and able to do so is Gates. Ball gets by Verstrade inside. Totino gets it. Newman drops it back. Now sent ahead and turned on by Brown. Brown trying to get it up to her racing player, but Maple Grove was there the whole time. Brown, nice pass this time. Up ahead to a streaking number 3. It's Ashley Cordero. Cordero looking for someone to drop it back to. Grace gets it. Brown. Newman inside. And that time, good defensive positioning by the Crimson. They're able to take the ball away and transition upfield.
That was a nice transition on the part of the Crimson. So we talked about earlier how good are the players at making that transition to go into the counter.
Ball gets a little too far ahead, so picked up and then sent ahead by Clarice Hill, the Eagles goalie. And a throw in for Maple Grove. Ariana Del Morel with the lone goal here in the first half as Maple Grove trails Totino-Grace 1-0. And another throw-in. Ball comes in, headed away by Totino. And good control that time by Zerbe. Now a chance and a shot! And that one goes just high and off the field goal uprights. Good attempt that time from, I think that was Danielle Brown on the shot. And Brown with a deep shot, about similar in distance from the one that Maple Grove just had. Good try by Brown.
You see it again. See Brown, number 16, takes that shot. Just hits the crossbar of the field goal.
But really, when Totino hasn't been having many offensive chances outside of that goal, that's a good shot for her, just to try and open things up and test the goalie a little bit.
That's a good point. They've only had 2 shots, one on goal, and that was in. Otherwise, Maple Grove defense has been able to keep them away from the quality shots.
Totino-Grace's defense now with the ball. Meyer, but good job stepping to it as Morgan Palmer, and she'll regain possession for Maple Grove. These two teams very evenly matched, very tight played soccer right now. Not a lot of chances either way, but both teams able to possess the ball some. Maple Grove controlling it outside. Now Hawkinson with it. You can tell as soon as she gets the ball on her feet that it's her. Just the way she's able to shift around and move her body and fake some players out with her dribbles.
It's kind of telling, isn't it?
Now
Nice
Brianna
takeaway.
Johnson gets it. Johnson inside to Hawkinson. Drops it back. Here's a deep shot, and that one goes about 8 yards wide of the goal. But again, a good shot from outside, a good chance.
But that whole thing started with Johnson with the takeaway.
Let's go look at Hawkinson. Just a sophomore, an outstanding player for Maple Grove.
Look at this takeaway right there. Then sends the ball up to the outside, and here was a shot. That whole thing started with Johnson with the takeaway.
It was McMahon on the pass to Hawkinson who got that shot inside. Now Travis with the ball for the Crimson. Another good job switching fields by Maple Grove. Coach Levon talked about their possession and how he wants them to possess it with a purpose, and they've really been doing a good job of that, I think, tonight. Really being able to take the ball, switch fields, get it upfield. They've had trouble once they get around the penalty box, but it seems like now they've decided they're going to shoot from outside, and at one point, one of those is going to go on net.
Well, I like the way they're moving the ball around down on the Totino-Grace end. It's the age-old problem, trying to finish.
McMahon shoots it ahead.
I mean, every coach we've ever talked to says the same thing. Well, we play good on defense, we play good on the midfield, we're good at attacking, but we just can't finish.
What do you do when you get down there? A few more subs on the game now. Looks like Allie Bird and Grace Schmid checking back in for Maple Grove. While we see number 8 there, Abby Palma, getting back into the game. Senior midfielder for Totino-Grace. And ball down on the offensive end. That one gets sent in. Went over the line, though, however, so we're going to have a goal kick for Totino-Grace. McMahon starting to get active on the offensive end of things for Maple Grove. Allison Parnell sends the goal kick ahead. Header out of bounds, so we'll have a Totino-Grace throw-in. Down to 9 minutes to play in this first half between these Northwest Suburban Conference foes. Crimson get the ball. Now sent ahead from the back. Controlled on the far right side. Sent up to Grace Schmid. Schmid hassled, loses the ball. Totino with it. Schmid fighting for it. Good step ahead that time by Limata. And Maple Grove with the ball once again. McMahon sends it ahead a little too hard. So Totino gets the ball off the turnover. It's Palma. Ball goes out of bounds off Maple Grove, so we'll have a Totino-Grace throw-in. Palma flicks it ahead. Now, nice opportunity here for Maple Grove. Here comes Zerbe. But she's harassed from behind and loses the ball. This one goes ahead. McMahon on it now. She's going to get called for a foul, though, running into the Totino-Grace player. So we have an Eagles free kick just inside midfield.
At about 55 yards out. So he'll collect on the 35-yard line. Here's an opportunity.
Sends it up to Cordero. Cordero can't get around it. Maple Grove gets it back up ahead. Those free kicks have been dangerous. That was how they scored their first goal, was a free kick. That was collected by Del Morel. She got around one player and pretty much just had to beat the goalie, which she did. Now McMahon with it. Gets it outside to Bird. Bird holding up so her players can catch up. She gets it now to Gates. Gates tries to drop it back. Totino-Grace gets on it, but Bird gets it back. Shielding the ball, letting it settle. Now tries to get it ahead to Gates, but there to knock it forward is Meyer for Totino-Grace. But once again, Maple Grove winning a lot of midfield battles. Gets the ball back. Gates sends it up. Flag side linesman is waving for out of bounds, but the ref doesn't see it. Now he calls it. That was close. I don't think that one went out of bounds. Of course, he's got a better view than I do, being right in that line.
Yeah, he's looking right down that line. There he is. That's assistant referee. That's Ty Biasco. Across the field is Mike McClanahan, and center referee is Clinton LeBeau. We haven't called their names because they haven't had to be involved that much outside of a few fouls, that's a good thing, right?
Nothing controversial. If you don't notice the referees, they're doing a good job. Ball now comes outside to Bird. Bird trying to dribble around her player. Solid defense once again, though, that time. But this Totino-Grace defense has just done an outstanding job marking tonight.
Right, they're playing a 4-2-3-1 formation, or basically that's their formation, but I've been watching that four-player line, and they've been doing a great job of standing their ground, and then the midfielders are coming back to assist on the defense. So the transition there is excellent.
Now they draw a foul, so we'll have a free kick from Parnell. Big leg for the Eagles, and she skies this one ahead. Hawkinson heads it forward. And now collecting it is Zerbe, trying to get outside of the Maple Grove defender. Does briefly, and she gets knocked down hard. Slow to get up is Zerbe as that ball goes out of bounds for a Totino-Grace throw-in, and Zerbe is slow walking back. She took a hard shot that time there. You see her coming in the bottom of your frame as throw-in comes in from Palma to Del Morel. But now Maple Grove gets it and rushing back upfield. Another good transition. Nice crossing pass to Bird. Bird looking to beat her defender.
They had the numbers now. Now all of a sudden it's advantage Totino-Grace defense.
And again, that's Jenna Meyer with solid defense. Bird, second time down the field, she's tried to get around her and couldn't. Cordero drops it back to Meyer. Meyer with a bit of a missed kick. This one's won by the Crimson. Coming ahead for it now is Worthington.
You're right, Alex. I think Crimson are doing a pretty good job of the takeaways.
With the ball now, here's Bird outside. Challenged by Meyer again. She hits it too hard. So Meyer sent it upfield but went right off Gates. And now a battle for it. Bird comes away with it. Drops it back for Meyer. Meyer can't get to it before it goes out of bounds. So we'll have a Totino-Grace throw-in. And a couple of subs here for the Crimson. Should come back on if they're going to let him go. Oh, it's a kick. There's a foul on the play.
Yeah, it's a free kick. I was waiting for the position. I thought that was a foul.
This one's sent ahead and a push in the back that time by Megan Zerbe. So now we'll have a kick going the opposite way. Under 4 minutes to play here in this first half. It's been a tightly contested game between Maple Grove and Totino-Grace. The Eagles lead off 1-0 off a goal from Ariana Del Morel in the 8th minute of the game. Looks like McMahon trying to control that and playing it on the ground. That kick never officially, it went in the goal, but it never officially was a shot on goal because Del Morel playing on the ground got called for a foul first. You heard a smattering of applause from the Crimson parents who thought there was a goal.
Yeah, no way. Sorry, folks.
Parnell sends it ahead. Knocked down by Serene, but now good hustle to the play by Hawkinson. Boy, she turns on those jets quickly.
She does, and she has, look at the ball skill she has here. This is great. No wonder they speak so highly of her. Even the opposing coaches know who she is.
Being marked very well by Mackenzie Schmidt, though, that time couldn't get around her. We'll have a throw-in deep in the Maple Grove offensive zone, but with a couple subs coming on first. Brianna Johnson, star forward for the Crimson, and that's Camille Verstrate, number 16. Two starters back on for Maple Grove. Here comes the throw-in. Off a Totino-Grace head. Eagles knock it out, but possessed again by Maple Grove, Grace Schmid, and then out of bounds off Totino-Grace defender. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll have another Crimson throw-in in their offensive zone. And that one goes out of bounds. So we'll have another throw-in. Shelby Hanberg with the ball for Maple Grove. Calling out assignments for her team. Taken away by Totino. Trying to transition back up the field. They have one player ahead. That one, Collage gets a foot in at that time.
A little hip check.
That's Zerbe once again, and we're going to have a talking to by the ref here. She gets a yellow card, our first card of the game. And again, that's Megan Zerbe being called for the foul on Lindsay Lowry. So again, you haven't had to see much from the rest, but that time they thought Zerbe a little too aggressive. That's her second foul as many trips down the field.
I think that's probably why this previous activity, not just that one. Sometimes the referee will let a few go by, and then all of a sudden they'll say, well, we're going to call it.
Clarice Hill collects the loose ball that comes into her penalty box and sends it upfield as we're down to a minute to play in this first half. Throw in for Totino-Grace. Comes in to Palma. And again, good pressure by Maple Grove as Hawkinson sends it all the way across the field. Racing on to it now is Johnson. She's got Meyer to beat. Bird had trouble, and now so does Johnson. Meyer doing great work on that right defensive spot. And she gets the ball once again, and she'll draw a foul. Down to 20 seconds left. Meyer a sub for this team too, but a senior playing very well. A lot of solid returning players. Only one player on this team, Totino-Grace team, one starter who wasn't a returner from last year. So they know how to play with each other, and especially on that defensive end, they've been showing that tonight.
Yeah, they've been very solid on defense. I've been watching that defensive line all first half, and they've been doing a good job.
Well, that's the end of the first half as Totino-Grace leads 1-0, and tight contest so far between these two teams. I guess we expected that by their records, but by the way the coaches talked, it sounded maybe like the experienced team might have a little more of the advantage. They certainly obviously do on the scoreboard, but not necessarily in the gameplay, Sig.
No, they've been back and forth with each other. As you said, we did anticipate it being a close game, and we are seeing the experience and the teamwork of Totino-Grace actually coming out as a standout. We look at Maple Grove defense, a little bit disorganized once in a while, breaking the ranks, and also have some miscues on the pass. If the pass is not connecting or not turning around fast enough. So to be down 1-0 is better than what it could have been.
Ariana Del Morel with the lone goal here for Totino-Grace in the first half. That about 8 minutes in got them out to the lead that they hold here at halftime, 1-0. Totino-Grace, the visiting team, over Maple Grove by a goal at the end of the first half in Northwest Suburban girls soccer action here on Channel 12 Sports. We'll be back with highlights and stats after this.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hey, did you buy something from some gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think. Billy!
Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect for tips on how to be safe online.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You watch Channel 12 at home. Why not on the go? Channel 12 is online at 12.tv. Watch on your phone, on your tablet. Channel 12 is your local source wherever you go. Just log on to 12.tv. Check out our videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, and even watch live events via live stream. So don't wait. Stay up to date with Channel 12 and 12.tv, your local source.
Oh, and a goal. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Those are some girls just playing club on the field. We're here at Maple Grove High School, and Maple Grove has not scored yet. They're down 1-0 to Totino-Grace. Let's look at some highlights from the first half of this Northwest Suburban Conference game. Players getting warmed up. And first a chance here. Throw-in, Nicole Newman gets it, sends it ahead to Ariana Del Morel. Makes a nice tap by the defender, and then an easy goal for her. Makes it 1-0 Eagles just 8 minutes in. Again, great individual effort by Del Morel that gets the Eagles up 1-0 in this first half.
And not only the skill to do it, but I was really impressed with her composure doing that.
Let's go look at Allie Bird coming off the field. And Emma Reinert as well. Let's get some stats here. Crimson, 5 shots to 2 for the advantage in that category, but each team with just 1 shot on goal. Of course, the difference is the Eagles went in the goal. 7 fouls to 4 for the Crimson, and Crimson actually had 2 corner kicks that first half, but neither of them resulted in anything of much substance, as the Crimson down 1-0 at halftime in this Northwest Suburban Conference battle to their rival Totino-Grace. We'll be back with more high school girls soccer on Channel 12 after this.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
My new mom and I have a lot in common.
The great outside.
We both love the outdoors.
It's so shiny.
That's not a flower. We both love geology.
Oh, look. An igneous one.
That's not a rock. And she knows a lot about wildlife.
A labradoodle.
That's not a dog. Hanging out has been kind of fun.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Volunteering is more than just a word. It's a window to opportunities. Take Mark, for example. By taking free TV classes at Northwest Community Television, Mark is helping bring entertainment and information to his community, along with building a foundation of skills that will take him one step closer to his dreams. Share your passion. Visit nwct.org.
The average text, takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
All right, give me a spot. You know my motto, safety first.
They could be dangerous. I think we should call animal control.
Animal control?
To be safe.
Don't worry.
Just...
I got this. It's a new motto.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Welcome back to Maple Grove High School as the host Crimson are down to the visiting Totino-Grace Eagles 1-0 to start the second half of this Northwest Suburban Conference game. Ariana Del Morel with the lone goal in the first half for the Eagles has given them the lead. And, you know, during halftime, Sig and I were talking, as we always do, about how these teams did last year. Talking about the Crimson, who lost in the section quarterfinals to Moundsview 1-0 at home. Bit of an upset last year. Crimson had an interesting game with Moundsview earlier this year. They lost 3-0, but I should say against Champlain Park the game before, they were down 3-0 after one half. Scored 5 goals in the second half to win.
Right, so they got the scoring power.
That they do. Totino-Grace, meanwhile, came ever so close to a state bid last year. They lost 2-1 in the section final last year. So to Park Center, a team with a lot of returners. They've obviously got high expectations and are starting well here tonight.
And you can see that in the way they stay in formation, as I was saying, the first half. The defensive four are solid. I mean, they don't move from their position, and the midfielders are coming back to help out and fill in the holes. And that's a sign of a mature team.
Right now, Maple Grove, once again, as they did in the first half, trying to attack. Johnson trying to push it ahead, but good defense by Maple Grove, or by Totino-Grace, continuing that trend from the first half, and Maple Grove continuing the trend of keeping the offensive pressure up. They've got the ball once again, trying to play it to the outside. And ball went out of bounds during the dribble from Maple Grove off number 16, Verstrate. And so Totino will have the ball back. So it's halftime. You're Coach Thibodeau for Totino. You've got the lead. What are you saying to your team, Sig?
I say stay on your defense, stay in your formation. You're doing a good job. I think the midfielders are getting beat to the ball by the Crimson midfielders, and that's where they have to concentrate on. Be more aggressive, attack the ball. You don't have to create a foul, but at least attack the ball better, like they are doing there, because the Crimson are just very solid in the midfield.
And really, if the game stays this way, I don't expect we'll see a lot of difference in strategy here, because it's really Maple Grove's been attacking. They've only got one shot on goal to show for it, but a lot of times in these types of games, you'll see it, both teams kind of settle back defensively and one's forced to come forward. Maple Grove hasn't done that. They've been solid enough after kind of a rough start on defense. They settled down on the defensive end, haven't really given up any chances while continuing to maintain this offensive pressure.
Right, and we saw that early in the match, the first few minutes when Maple Grove was making some errant passes. They were just like almost confused as to where they were going to kick the ball on defense. They've changed that, and that's been what's been different for them as the half progresses.
Bird with the ball, tries to drop it back to Gates. Bird and Gates now playing on that right side. They had so much trouble going against Jenna Meyer on that left side, so a bit of a strategy change as they switch sides here already in the start of this half. Gates with it. Ooh, mishandles the touch. It goes out of bounds for a Totino-Grace throw-in. So on the opposite side, if you're Coach Levon, you got to be pretty happy outside of being down 1-0 with what you saw in that first half. What's he saying to his team?
Well, I think he's saying you gotta shore up a little bit on the offense, because they get down there and then they're moving the ball and they're letting the Totino-Grace defense dictate. Here we go.
Hawkinson, great pass inside, and Johnson just misses. Nice job by Clarice Hill, the goalie, coming out to challenge her. But boy, that was the kind of inside passing Maple Grove just couldn't get going in the first half.
That's exactly what we're saying. Look at this penetration. Here's the pass, and then tries. I couldn't tell if she's trying to pass it or trying to sneak it in the corner.
Look, I think she was probably trying to shoot it. It was just really good job by Hill coming out to challenge and giving her no angle whatsoever on that. And that was Amelia Vossen, who's been so good. That's the first time we've seen her get beat all night on a run like that. So a good chance for Maple Grove, but still not one in the back of the net, and it's 1-0 Totino. Throw in now, coming in by Mackenzie Schmidt. This is the goal scorer, Del Morel, carrying it up the left side. Looking to cross it in, passes it in. Another cross to the middle.
Well, those are 2 or 3 good crisp passes, and then they missed one.
So we're seeing things open up a little bit already at the start of this half, as the offenses seem to kind of figure it out how to connect a little bit more in their own zones. But now Gates, that's another mistouched ball. Second one that goes out of bounds in about 2 minutes for her there. And that won't make Coach Levon real happy.
No, it's one thing to have a ball taken away from you. You don't want to just give it to the opposition.
Thought for a second he might be calling a sub up, but there's no one coming in yet for her. Now Hawkinson with the ball. Good dribbler outside to Gates. This time she's able to corral it. Sends it ahead to McMahon. Drops it back for Hawkinson. Nice triangle passing here by your Crimson. Gates up to McMahon. Settles it. Gates with a little run. McMahon trying to get around her player. Now she does get it to Gates. Gates, one player to beat. Good touch inside. Turned on it by Johnson. Ball bouncing around inside the box. And that one sent back out. But boy, Maple Grove starting to have some nice creativity in their tight spaces in the offensive zone.
Yeah, I think Coach Levon's got to love that one. That was an excellent move up. Bates with that final pass towards the center. That's what you look for as a coach. Where can you generate some consistencies?
Newman almost picks off that pass from the goalkeeper Heaton ahead, but Maple Grove controlling it again. And Maple Grove seems like they have a little extra juice in their legs to start this half down 1-0.
Yeah, they generated some momentum on their own. A nice heel pass.
Now Bird with it. Bird sends in a cross inside. Whoa. And Heaton, that Hill dropped it. Well, that one just dropped into her lap and she couldn't handle it, and almost a chance if there would have been a Crimson player there, but Johnson had already overrun it. I'm probably just assuming Hill was going to catch that ball.
Yeah, if there would have been a white jersey anywhere near there, that would have been payday.
Now Hanberg fighting for the ball. That's McMahon there.
Yeah, and again, Maple Grove midfielders are getting a huge advantage.
So obviously they're really good at pressuring the ball, but if you're Totino, how are you able to counter that?
Well, you have to go in there and just fight for the ball, try and get, shield away from the Crimson player. But the bottom line is they just seem to have better skills in midfield.
Bird tries to send it up, knocked off a Totino player's foot. Ball still in bounds, bouncing off Hawkinson. Hawkinson now with a head on it. Bird gets it, but a little too aggressively, and so a foul. Alexi Serene draws it for the Eagles, and we'll have a free kick here coming up. Allison Parnell, once again, back to take it for Totino-Grace. A little bit windy here tonight. Wind is blowing from the right side of the field to the left, so Totino, if they want to send the ball ahead, they'll have a little bit of wind to help themselves get it forward.
Yeah, the wind's not quite as strong as it was earlier. We'll check the wind gusts and see if that could be a factor.
Remember when we used to not have smartphones in the booth and we used to not be able to do that?
Yeah.
You just have to go, I don't know, it's about 12 miles per hour, I guess.
Just a guess.
Lick your finger, stick it out the window of the press box.
Yeah, we still do that.
Well, of course. It's usually just as accurate. Johnson trying to collect the ball, but the wind did hold it up a little bit that time. But Maple Grove comes down with it anyway. Now back on the rush. Johnson runs inside. That ball goes all the way outside, just a little bit too far for Camille Verstraete. So we'll have a throw in for Totino-Grace.
And the official report is south winds 13 miles an hour.
What did they say?
About the same as it was. It's been the same for the last 5-6 hours.
I said 12 miles per hour, see?
That was
the whole finger on that still works. Still works. I learned that trick from Trudy Rednieski. Throw-in now for Maple Grove. This is Camille Verstraete. Waiting for a couple of her players to make runs for her. Does get it ahead, but now it's skied back by Totino's defense. Verstraete battling for it. Looks like she might have got her arm up, but no call. And Maple Grove will come down with it. Johnson holds it up. Nice pass, good look as Gates runs onto it. Gates being chased, and she'll get it just ahead to Bird. Bird back for Gates running behind. Gates trying to turn the corner. Good defense, however, that time by Mackenzie Schmidt. Able to shield the ball from Gates and draw the goal kick.
And that's where the experience comes into play with the Totino-Grace.
Yeah, Schmidt the senior, Vossen's a senior on defense as well. Peterson a junior and Parnell a senior. So 3 seniors on that back line, and you can definitely tell.
You can tell the difference.
Another throw-in now for the Eagles.
Yeah, not just the age, but the maturity as a player.
Flicked on ahead by Serene. Now running with it is Palma. And ball knocked out of bounds, so she'll draw another throw-in. Still no corner kicks in the game for Totino-Grace. They've had quite a few throw-ins down on this end, and now Newman turns on it. And ball was bouncing a little bit on her. She had the defender beat, but couldn't control it. Goes out of bounds for a Maple Grove corner kick. Just under 10 minutes gone, over 10 minutes gone here in the second half. Eagles still lead 1-0. An Ariana Del Morel goal early in the first half. Now Palma beats the defender to the ball. Newman tries to get a shot off, bounces back to Palma, and that one knocked away by Maple Grove's defense. Trying to save it is Bird. Just a good job coming back for it and draws the throw in. Great individual effort that time by Bird coming back, getting Maple Grove a throw in. And Totino almost with an offensive chance that time. Flicked on ahead. Bird can't quite get to it now. Looks like Hawkinson came back for it. Ball bouncing off several heads. Bird shields. Hawkinson gets it and turns on the Jets. Sends this one across field just beyond the reach of Rosie McGinty. And Maple Grove will still control across midfield. Still controlling outside to Bird. I think this switch of Bird and Gates to the right side is really benefiting the Crimson so far here. Nice touch inside, a shot. Oh, and that's once again, Hill having trouble with that ball. And the shot, I believe that time came off the foot of Brianna Johnson. And if you're Coach Levon, you're telling them, keep putting them on. She can't handle it. Put them on and get in there.
Hit them hard and fast because, as you said, she's having some trouble keeping those. Then going for the rebound.
Totino gets the ball back. Palma drops it back, sent ahead to no one in particular, but running onto it now, battling for it is Newman, and we'll have a,
should be,
I don't know if they're calling
Crimson.
They called a throw-in. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a foul at first there. Newman seemed like she was getting a bit aggressive, but
yeah, they were pushing a lot, but that was going both ways.
And now a nice ball outside, springing Palma. Newman running to the center. Cross in. Oh, and that one looks like it was just nicked by Brown and knocked outside of the post. So good chances by both teams so far early in this second half. And Brown just able to get her foot on that one.
You can't see it in your view here, but the Crimson defense came roaring back to get into position. And that's what made that play, because they had a 4-2 advantage.
Now Serene with the ball, trying to find someone inside. Settled now by Del Morel. She's got the goal, cuts it back inside. It looked like she was trying to pass it to Newman, and Newman was expecting her to shoot.
Yeah, I thought she was going to shoot too, then all of a sudden she poked it over to the center, but there was no dark jersey there.
Unforced error there by Bird, knocks it out of bounds, and so we'll have a throw in. Palma gets it up to Newman. Newman battling for it, but can't quite get to it as it bounces away from her, not a bounce for a goal kick. Newman's being guarded by Limata this half, and seems like she's been able to get around her a couple times, but the ball's been bouncing on her, and she hasn't been able to settle it down. So the free kick, or the goal kick by Heaton. And now Totino doing a better job of being aggressive in midfield, winning some of those balls back.
And that was a great shot right there with Totino-Grace.
Gates trying to turn. Palma blocks her, holds up. Palma regains possession. Nice individual effort by her. Sends it into Brown. Brown trying to settle it. Now the ball comes to Del Morel. Morel tries to shoot it. Goes off a Crimson player. And finally, Maple Grove just clears it out of bounds. And Totino now on the attack. So after both teams really played a tight first half, this one's starting to loosen up a bit.
Yeah, this is wide open. It's great.
Newman with the ball. Tries to send it in. No one there. And that one's going to be a corner kick. I was going to say, it looked like it went off a Maple Grove defender, and they just let it roll out of bounds.
I thought the defender was rolling it back to the keeper, and she decided to let it go.
So we'll see our first corner kick for Totino-Grace. The goal scorer, Del Morel, will take it. Third corner kick of the game, all on this end. There hasn't been any on the other end of the field, and of course the wind blowing towards that goal. Here comes Del Morel. Far post, goes over everyone, and
that'll be a goal
out of bounds
kick.
For a goal kick. Nope. They're calling it a corner, so it must have gone off a Maple Grove player.
Oh, okay.
And they're calling it a corner on the other end.
I did not see that.
Nor did I, but we are several yards away.
And we're
from
so
that
old.
spot. This is also true.
Our eyesight isn't as good as it used to be.
So Del Morel takes it from the left and the right sides for Totino, and here comes her corner kick. This one, nobody there for that one but a Maple Grove player. Gets ahead on it, sends it forward, and now Maple Grove can move in transition.
That was a nice poke pass.
Holding up.
Waiting for the rest of the team. And
good defense by Totino to slow things down, but Allie Bird will get it from Maple Grove, and they'll continue their move upfield. Bird sends it outside for Gates. Gates with speed will get to it first. Can she get around her defender? She's able to drop it back for Bird. Bird for McMahon. And that one looks like it went off McMahon's arm.
Yeah, it did.
So that'll be a handball, and Totino will get it back.
That's unfortunate because they had a good offensive surge going that time.
So Parnell with the kick for Totino. Sent ahead. Gates watches it go by, and now it's collected by Palma. Palma up the left side. Being watched by Limata. Palma still with it, looking to drop it back. And she's able to for Rosie McGinty. McGinty gets fouled, and so we'll have a free kick.
Yeah, she was fouled before that exchange.
This is about the third free kick we've seen from this distance. Of course, last half it was going the other way, but this is about the distance it was when they were able to get the ball ahead to Del Morel for the goal about 8 minutes into this game.
So I'm sure that number 9's being marked quite closely. You can see that already.
She's up on the right side of the field.
And being marked close. Yeah, she is. She's got a buddy over there.
Nicole Newman to take the kick. She skies it ahead and bounces it right at keeper Kiara Heaton, who's able to calmly collect it.
Yeah, she read that one perfectly.
Boots it back ahead to Johnson. Johnson now trying to turn it upfield. Was able to beat her defender with some nifty dribbling, and now we got some numbers for Maple Grove.
Oh, just couldn't connect that last pass. They would have had an opportunity for a quality shot.
Good defense by Vossen there. We've said that many times tonight. She's had a good game, and Totino draws a foul, so Maple Grove will go back on defense as the Eagles have the free kick. McMahon on the foul that time. Now Palma trying to get to it. Good defense by Limata that time, though, knocking it out of bounds. And Totino have another throw. And now a mass substitution. 4 players coming on for Maple Grove, so I'm not going to name them all. We have number 10, Megan Zerbe, coming on for Totino. I'll name her because I saw number 10. But there's Hanberg coming back into the game for Maple Grove, as well as Grace Schmid. Hanberg playing defense on Palma to start. Ball goes out of bounds, and can't tell, was that going to be a corner? Or it looks like a corner kick. Del Morel back to take it again, and now within a span of about 5 minutes, this will be the third corner kick for Totino-Grace. First one went far side, didn't connect. Second one went about midway, 6 yards out, and there were no Eagles players there this time. This one goes mid again. Eagles trying to get to it. Good defense by Totino as this one just bounces around a while. Nifty dribbling by Schmid, but her pass just a little bit behind a little bit behind her teammate up there, and so Totino will get the throw in. Flicked ahead. And Totino gets it back. Nearing the midway point of this second half, Totino still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. As we have a couple more subs. LJ Collage for Maple Grove and Sophie Palma, sophomore defender, coming on for Totino-Grace. And we have a Crimson throw-in. You really tell the last 10 minutes or so, it's been Totino-Grace winning all those balls that in midfield that Maple Grove had been winning for the first 50 minutes of the game.
Yep, and there, here again, obviously miscue on the defense. They had 4 people back there, but they still managed. They missed the pass, and now it's a corner.
So Del Morel,
the Eagles,
there once again to take it for Totino-Grace.
Now, the last time she got it just about halfway across the net.
This one much closer in, and it's in the goal. It looked like a defensive goal.
Yeah. I think the defender was trying to head it out.
And I couldn't tell quite who put that one in.
That's an own goal. I think it's an own goal.
They're saying it was scored by number 10, Megan Zerbe, but I think it was an own goal, which means it'll be Del Morel's second goal of the game. Like you were saying, the first few came out to about the 6-yard box. That one was just about right on the line.
It was right on. That's right on target.
I couldn't tell who put it in, so I don't want to give anybody the blame for the own goal, but I'm sure we'll get a look at it in a bit here as play starts again. And now Maple Grove in a lot of trouble. Just under 19 minutes to play, down 2 goals. We'll get a foul here on Maple Grove, and Totino is going to get the free kick, and Coach Levon's going to have to settle his team. Here's a look at this own goal here, Sig.
Can we see it again?
So this is right before the corner kick. And that's Hawkinson.
Yes.
So I thought it was originally. I didn't want to say that. And you can tell the disappointment on her face. She was trying to clear that out over the...
She was. She had the wrong angle, and it went in. I was surprised, too. I didn't see any blue jerseys.
No. And Hawkinson, a prolific goal scorer for this Maple Grove team, but usually goes in the other team's net. That's a tough break for her.
That's unfortunate.
And for the Crimson, down 2-0 now, and we saw them attacking before. They're really going to have to turn it on now if they want to get back into this one. They've done it, as we said earlier. They were down 3-0 earlier in the year, came back to win 5-0, but they had an entire half to do it. They're down to just over 18 minutes in this one.
Yeah, I think at that instance, I think Hawkins did what she had to do, because that corner was coming in just perfect.
Yeah.
It was a low, hot shot that you had to get it out somehow, and she just happened to be in the wrong position.
Yeah, it was a great corner by Del Morel, and she didn't know who was on that other side of her. And there were a couple of players. There was one player for each team on the other side. Maybe it would have gone off someone, maybe not, but she had to do what she could to try and clear it. But as you said, the angle just too tough.
Yeah, I think Zerbe must have been the closest player to it, because that's what the officials will give the goal to.
But that actually should count as Del Morel's second goal of the game now.
Well, that's her second. Well, she gets the assist.
She gets, well, this is true. The own goal will go against Hawkinson, as now Del Morel has it again. Totino still applying the pressure despite the 2-0 lead, and why not? They've really started to do a good job to seal up that midfield and start winning balls like this that come loose. And then the transition.
Perfect.
Back in well. There's Zerbe. Now a chance for Newman, and that one just misses. I think it might have skimmed off the post. Great transitional play as Zerbe drops it to Newman, and Newman, who's one of the offensive stars for this team, but we haven't said her name a lot tonight, had a great chance here, Sig.
Like you said, that perfect transition. Here's a shot, left-footed. Just hits the far post. I missed it by about 5 inches.
And you can tell that this defense, or this wind rather, Maple Grove has had a hard time adjusting to it going the other way in the second half here. Whereas it was going with them the first half, it's been going against them, and it kind of holds that ball up a little bit as it's kind of been gusting, and it's not a consistent, steady wind. And Totino's been able to track it better than Maple Grove, and almost led to a third goal. Now a battle, this time won by the Crimson. Nope, Totino gets it again. Del Morel holding it up, looking for Schmidt, gets it to her. Schmidt up ahead to Reinert.
That went out.
Reinert can't save it.
Yeah, the ball rolled over the touchline, so it'll be a throw-in for Maple Grove. Crimson need to get something going.
Check that was Zerbe, not Reinert. So the throw-in now comes in by Hanberg. Ball bounces around a little bit. Totino regains possession, sends it ahead. Now Zerbe chasing. Hanberg gets it away. Travis sends it all the way across the field, and Maple Grove is going to try and attack again. They need to do a lot of that. Down 2-0 here. Just over 15 minutes to play. And whereas we saw all this nice crisp passing, a couple of great attacks by Maple Grove early in the half, they haven't done much of anything for about the last 15 minutes. Good defense by Totino, a big reason for that. Zerbe now passes it up to Serene, tries to send it ahead for Del Morel, knocked away. And we'll have another Totino, we'll have a Maple Grove throw-in.
And we've got some more subs coming in at the next Eagles possession.
Is that a new goalie looking to check in there?
No, that's just
oh, that's the sub then. All
that's
right.
just the sub.
Yep. Same color. Kind of had me fooled. So 3 more Totino players are going to come in now. It's a good look there at Paula Del Morel, freshman, and the only freshman on this team for Totino, and she checks in. Can't confirm, but I'm guessing she's related to our goal scorer, Ariana Del Morel. It's not a common last name like Ligri or,
yeah,
or Rudnitsky. Now Maple Grove trying to start something back ahead in the offensive zone. They may have it here. Not able to do anything with it, though, as Darian Cobb. Totino sends it back. Maple Grove collects again. Now try and do something. Johnson with it. Drops it back. They had some success going up that right side earlier.
Yeah, they like that
up there again.
They like that right side. That's their favorite play.
Now Reinert trying to run onto it. Looking for a cross, and nice. Gentle cross.
Oh.
Finish not there, but now a chance all the way outside. Goes off the outside netting. That was Grace Schmid trying to redirect that originally, but a nice pass inside. Instead of trying to crush it, Emma Reinert there just tapped it inside, springing Schmid.
Nice touch. You'll see it again. This is a very, very nice passing right here.
That's a tough angle to take a shot from.
Yeah, it is.
And Schmid got it closer than probably most people would, but obviously not close enough. Down under 13 minutes to play now. Totino leads 2-0. Parnell skies it ahead. Totino will win this ball. Palma playing on the right side, has it. Sends it in. Slowing it up. Back to Palma. Puts a shot on net. And that one grabbed easily by Heaton, who has to try and get it back up again quickly. Heaton's boot bounces short of her target. Totino collects it again. Zerbe drops it back for Palma. That's Sophie Palma, I should say. Got two Palmas on the field now. And we'll have a sub as Limita is going to come back in for Maple Grove on the goal kick. Here's the goal kick. Flicked on by Maple Grove. They settle it. Johnson tries to spring McMahon ahead. But that one too far left will go out of bounds. We'll have a throw in for Totino.
And the Eagles put it back into play quickly.
I was gonna say, not trying to slow things down with this 2-0 lead. Their pace has been working for them for about the last 20 minutes, so why stop now?
Yeah, I don't think they have another pace. I think their pace is full speed ahead.
Well, that's a lot more fun for us to watch than the slow down glue game.
Oh, the defensive shell?
You got it.
Never been a fan of that.
Nor have I. Except the one time that we played a team from Russia and lost 21-0 when I was 12 years old. Probably should have gone to more of a defensive shell on that one.
Is that in the USA Cup?
No, that was in the Eden Prairie tournament right before. There was a warm-up for the USA Cup.
Oh, okay.
So now Parnell with it. Tries to get around her defender. And that'll be a foul as Maple Grove now trying to do anything to cause a turnover in their offensive end and get another shot on goal. We're getting down to 10 minutes left here.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing for them. They're trying hard to get something going, and in doing that, you may create a foul or two.
Limita, her errant pass is able to be salvaged. Maple Grove briefly gets the ball back. Now they collect it again. The bright green shoes of Shelby Hanberg.
You like those?
They're very green. There's a lot of them out there with those bright green shoes. It must be kind of the in thing this season. Normally there's one player with them so you can always call out her name, you know who it is, but now 4 or 5 of them have that.
Not anymore. I think every soccer team we've ever covered in the last 5 years have had multicolored shoes. Here's an opportunity.
Chance for McMahon, and coming out, knocking it away is Hill. McMahon then gets the last touch on it, and it goes out of bounds. So Hill, you know, she's had a couple chances where she had trouble handling the ball, but she's had a couple real nice chances coming out and cutting off that angle, forcing the Crimson to knock it away. Saved a couple of goals that way, keeping that clean sheet now with 9.5 minutes left. This ball sent way ahead by Totino. Maple Grove just tries to send it back, and the Eagles win another one around midfield. Aggressive play, ref lets it go, and Totino once again comes up with it. Paulo Demerel tries to pass ahead. Ball gets knocked back, and here come the Crimson in transition. Oh, Hawkinson loses it briefly, is able to get it back, and then nice pass ahead to Johnson. Johnson dribbles around her player. She's heading in for a chance. Good defense once again that time by Vossen. Vossen collects it and is able to draw a throw-in. But boy, Vossen has just been so steady back there tonight. Didn't flinch at all with Johnson running full speed ahead at her.
That's what we were saying earlier, that the defense had been standing their ground.
And losing her ground that time is Totino-Grace player, so she'll draw a free kick. That's Paula Del Morel. Well, she just got into the game, but she's had a couple nice plays already, been very active out there, the freshman for the Eagles. Draws a free kick here. This one's sent low. Cordero chasing it for Totino. Flicked overhead. Maple Grove collects it, drops it to Schmid, and then taken right away again by Totino. Now the race is on. Lidmata able to knock it out of bounds before Zerbe catches up with her. Check that, that's Hanberg for Maple Grove. And so Zerbe with the throw-in now. Misses everyone, and so Maple Grove will collect it. Hawkinson slows it down, dribbles around the ref, and then gets it taken away. Nice defensive play that time by Del Morel. Del Morel trying to match her sister's goal.
It's a 1-on-4 over there, and she's still doing it.
Able to draw the throw-in. Good play there by Del Morel. Little elbow with Hawkinson coming back too. The freshman, she's not afraid.
No,
she'll
not
mix
at
it
all.
up.
You want to mix it up? Bring it.
So here comes the throw-in. Totino once again settles it down. Boy, they've done such a better job of winning those 500 ball or 50-50 balls and collecting it here this half. And now a bad pass back that time. Not sure what Hanberg was thinking, but she's going to give Totino another corner kick here. And Totino, they are going to take their time getting this one set up, and you don't really blame them with under 7 minutes to play.
Right. But I just don't understand that pass coming back like that.
Ariana Del Morel on the bench, so Nicole Newman will come in to take this corner kick. All the corner kicks on this half of the field. We had 2 in the first half, and I think this is our 4th, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 5th this half. This one comes into the top of the box and bounces off a couple players. Heaton there to pick it up. And not that it'll be easy to get 2 goals, but a third would have definitely sealed this one.
Yeah, that would have been the clincher. I mean, they certainly have the capacity to score. They got the skills. They just got to get into the right position and try and figure out this very, very smart defense.
Just a little off now, though. You can see maybe the frustration coming out. Hanberg sends that one past Johnson, who couldn't handle it, and Totino with the throw-in, and now they send the ball back ahead, and Crimson just not being able to do much with it getting upfield.
And they may be getting tired also. This has been a fast-paced match from the beginning.
And fairly physical, too. The refs have let a lot of things go. It's been a well-reffed game.
I think so. I mean, there hasn't been anything outrageous. It's been just aggressive play.
So 3 subs coming on now quickly for Maple Grove. And then also quickly is the throw-in coming back in. Cutting it inside is McMahon. Dribbling around, trying to find someone to get it to. Center of the field, able to find number 23, Travis. Her shot just kind of weakly goes in. Probably would have done her well to take a touch first before shooting that in. I think they're probably trying to rush things a little bit right now, trying to get 2 goals.
Well, she saw the opportunity and got underneath it.
Nicole Newman with a shot, and that one goes just over the crossbar. Bounces back into play, but that will be a goal kick. But Newman trying to catch Heaton off her guard and just missed by about a foot over the crossbar. Now Bird back in that game at that right midfield spot. Can't get around her defender. So now it's Cobb sending it up to Bird. They took Bird and Gates out there, and things kind of stopped going up that right side. They were really doing well attacking that right side in the first half.
They were, but I think that's also
been
the
second half.
I think part of the adjustment for
McMahon with a shot, and that one just goes in front of the crossbar, parallel to it, and out of bounds for a goal kick. But a good chance by McMahon that time, one of the better chances we've seen out of them this half.
I thought she was trying for a cross in the center, but there was no. Let's take a look at it again.
Could have been.
Here's the throw.
Just nobody there.
Yeah, nobody there. I think she was trying for the cross. Trying to get something set up in the middle, but
now the ball comes all the way back to Heaton. She has to play it on the ground, being passed back to her like that. Gets it ahead to Travis. Maple Grove opening things up, trying to get back up the field. Totino's defense so solid tonight, and there's another good defensive play by Vossen coming way forward. Maple Grove gets it back though. Now sends it outside. Gates now running up that left side. Vossen giving chase. Gates keeps it in. Gates dribbles around her, but good support that time by Jenna Meyer. However, we're going to get a foul called. And this looks like it'll be on Gates. So Parnell's going to take the kick. Nice defensive support that time by the Totino-Grace defense. Stopped that attack from happening.
Yeah, they only had 3 players back there, but the 4th defender hustled back and filled in the void.
Bird running back, now guarded by 2 players. Zerbe getting her leg in there. Zerbe, real aggressive, continues to be aggressive there. Draws the throw in. Nice play by her. Just down over 2 minutes left to play. Totino-Grace looks like they're going to come away with a victory on this one and maintain sole possession of 4th place. Of course, like I said, we have 3 teams tied at 5-1-0 in the Northwest Suburban Conference. Grace back at 4-1-2 will move to 5-1-2. So actually, technically, they'll move into 1st place, depending on the outcomes of the other games tonight. Now running ahead with it is Cobb. Cobb dribbles around a player, takes a shot, and that one goes just left. Good idea by Cobb that time. You got to shoot at this point. But that one goes just left of the net. Looking ahead for these teams, Totino-Grace's next game will be against Osseo, coming up on Thursday, September 24th. Osseo right now 1-3-2 in the conference, 4-3-2 overall, but dropping in the conference. It looks like they're in 10th place right now. Meanwhile, Maple Grove is going to go against Spring Lake Park St. Anthony Village on the road on Thursday. And that team 2-5-1 overall, but 2-3-1 in the conference. Good for 8th place. And correct that Osseo is in 11th place in the conference right now out of 14 teams. So both teams potentially with winnable games coming up here as we're down under a minute left to play in this half. And it's really been Ariana Del Morel who's been the star of this game. It's been a good back and forth game, but Totino, I think their veteran leadership really has showed in the latter half of this second half, and that's what's helped them win.
I agree. Their experience as a team really has paid off in this match against actually a very good Maple Grove team. They had good talent, good individual talent. Like Coach Levon said before the match, they just need to get things sorted out and put together. You know, look at the players and see what are they doing right. You know, how can you take them and make an advantage for the next series of games.
Yeah, really, who plays well together. I thought once Totino really shored up kind of their midfield defense, that really was the mitigating factor that decided the outcome of this game which is over now. Totino-Grace wins 2-0 over Maple Grove. There's the 2 goal scorers. Hawkinson didn't want to be one. Ariana Del Morel with the goal in the first half for Totino-Grace, and then Meredith Hawkinson with the own goal for Maple Grove, leading to the 2-0 final. Well, Sig, quite a good game tonight between these 2 squads, and Totino-Grace looks every bit the contender of a section finalist again.
Oh, I agree. They went deep into the sections last year. I think they have more than an opportunity to repeat this coming year, and probably even further. They have the skills. They play together well as a unit. Their defense, I love their defense.
Maple Grove also a good effort, but they drop this one 2-0 in the conference. They fall to 4-4 overall on the year, including 4-3 in the conference. Totino-Grace improves to 5-1-3 overall, 5-1-2 in conference play. Totino-Grace wins it 2-0 over Maple Grove. For Sig Lagery, I'm Alex Walker and all the Channel 12 crew. Thanks for watching. This has been Northwest Suburban Conference Girls Soccer on Channel 12. where Totino-Grace wins 2-0.